This is an important project for downtown and an important project for our city. This plaza was conceived over 40 years ago in 1972, and it was designed to connect the downtown district with the river. It was also meant to beautify downtown and to be an amenity to all of the many parks that we have in the city of Richmond. Now, we pride ourselves on the many parks that we have in the city. We have over 100 parks in the city that go from James River to Maymount, and our park system is one of the strong reasons that Richmond is a resilient city today. So I'm very happy today to be able to point to the beginning of a much needed renovation of a downtown jewel, Kanawha Plaza. Now, let me just take a quick minute. I know that it's hot, but we want to just give you a little bit of history to be able to understand exactly why this is so important. When this park opened back in the year of 1980, it was a decade of prosperity, and it was a decade when things had begun to be very well for Americans, but a transition was on the way. Middle class flight to the suburbs had already begun, not just white flight, but black flight as well. Cities were on the decline, and crime began to tick up in most cities. Back then, Richmond was on just one top 10 list, and that was that we were the murder capital of the country. Our population plummeted, and few people were proud to call Richmond their home. And it's important to take that trip down memory lane for two reasons. Number one, everybody needs to understand that the old Richmond is gone and that the old Richmond is not coming back. Today, Richmond is thriving, population is rising, and our average age is getting younger. The millennials are moving in, and you can't hear me because downtown Richmond is growing. We're showing up on the top 10 list in every magazine and publication. We're proud of our restaurants, we're proud of our beer, we're proud of our tattoos. Richmond is just a tremendously wonderful city. And there's another reason why the history lesson is important. It explains why this park is in such bad shape today. One resident said that it looks like overgrown ruins of a Soviet-era apartment block. And I want you to know that I have no choice but to agree with that. And that's why you don't have employees hanging around here for lunch. It's why we don't have Tai Chi classes in the morning, jazz concerts at night, because we have deferred maintenance for too long. And so, for most of Kanawha Plaza's life, the city has been declining, but now it's time to declare that we're rising and we want to fix up this plaza. The time is right to get this job done. And so today we're announcing the first phase of this renovation. The city has allocated $1 million of public funds to begin paying for it. We also have our contracting team in place. We are especially pleased that several corporate donors have stepped up to the plate, helping to make this happen. Dominion Resources, McGuire Woods have stepped up. And we're also asking that our other corporate neighbors and partners will step up and help us to restore the park. This upgrade is going to significantly improve access to comfortable green space in the middle of downtown. It will be a wonderful amenity for those who work here, but not only for those who work here, those who live here, and those who call Richmond their home. For a number of people who live downtown, this upgrade is going to keep the transformation of our downtown from becoming a concrete jungle. This is a short-term effort to make this park an inviting and welcoming space. And so we're extremely proud of what's going to happen here. And so with that, I'd like to invite John Sidner, our partner with Enrichment Foundation, to come and say a few words. John?
I'll be brief. It's very warm. Mr. Mayor, on behalf of our board, our staff, and our 100+ friends groups who serve the city, we want to thank you. Thank you, sir. We're looking forward to, as you say, this downtown tool coming back to use, being active in a wonderful place, a public spot for people to come and enjoy. So for 25 years, since 1990, Richmond has served in our people, parks, and public spaces, and we are of this blessed city, and we are really looking forward to starting our next 25 years right here at Kanawha. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Deborah Gardner is our DCAO for Human Services, and she's in charge of the project. Deborah?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon. It's my privilege today to introduce to you the project team for this activity. And it starts off with the City of Richmond's Parks and Recreation Department that's sponsored by Mr. Barry Russell. Our KEI architect is the architect who designed and worked on this project, and that's KEI and Mr. Robert Easter. We have several consulting engineers that are part of this project who are not here today, but I just wanted to recognize them and let you know who they are on this project. It's VHB Consulting Engineers, Daniel and Associate Consulting Engineers, Sneed Associates Landscape Architecture, H&S Engineers, Consulting Engineers, and Sneed Construction, who will begin the demolition of this project today. So with that being said, we want to point your attention to the big trucks here and let you know that they're going to begin the construction now. And Mr. Mayor, if it's okay with you, we'll give them the signal.
All right. Give the cameras a chance to take that.